How y'all doing? We're trying to get. So, this is a very important event.
Everybody's attention, please.
So, yeah, this is definitely a very important event, and I'm very pleasantly pleased to see, young people that are, becoming aware about their health and a problem that affects our community much more impactful than a lot of other communities. Breast cancer is something that we don't realize that a lot of our people are dying from, and like these ladies were saying, these survivors were saying, a lot of it, survival is early detection, and it's being aware of your body and the different changes of your body, and most importantly, going to see your doctor and talking about your health and your concerns about your health. They said several different things that I want to reiterate on. Number one, breast cancer is extremely prevalent. So you have a 1 in 8 chance in this lifetime of experiencing either breast or ovarian cancer. So why do I throw ovaries in there? All right, so breast and ovarian cancer are very linked. All right, so the BRCA gene, the BRCA gene, is the link or the genetic link between these two cancers. So people with this gene have the BRCA gene is 5 to 10% prevalent in our society. So that means your mother, your aunt, a male relative, or you have a first-degree relative that had breast cancer very early, like younger than 40 or younger than 45, you have a very high risk of being positive for this gene. This gene can lead to breast cancer. So when you look on TV and you see Angelina Jolie and some of these superstars that have had prophylactic or had their breast removed to prevent this cancer, they're positive for this gene. A lot of us are positive and don't even know it, but we can get that detection just by looking at our family history. Another thing, so breast cancer, so you're looking at it like, well, I'm 16, 17, 18 years old. I really don't have to worry about breast cancer. In a lot of cases, that is true. It's very rare for someone in that age group to develop a breast cancer. However, what happens when you're 25, when you're 30, when you're 35? Age doesn't discriminate against anybody. You're going to get older. What are the things that you need to do now to prepare for the future and to be aware about your health now? So she said a couple of different things about breast exams. So what we don't do now, we don't necessarily teach monthly breast exams. What we teach is called breast self-awareness. So breast self-awareness is simply you being aware about what normal breast tissue feels like and what abnormal breast tissue feels like. And that starts as early as 16, 17, 18 years old. If you notice, every month you can have like some tenderness of the breast, or something where you feel like there's a mass there, but it's kind of squishy. You can move it around and it's tender, and then in a couple of days or maybe a week or two, it goes away. Right? Anybody have that? Any females have that?
Yeah.
All right. So that's normal breast tissue. Why does that happen? So your ovaries produce hormones. Your ovaries produce estrogen and progesterone. So your breasts are responsive to those hormones. That's normal. So your breasts can get responsive to these hormones. You can have tissue that gets tender from these hormones and then it goes away. That's not what you're concerned about. You're concerned about when something is abnormal outside of what you normally feel. What does that mean? Normally you feel breast tissue that may be, squishy, it may be tender or maybe painful, and then it goes away. A breast cancer early detection form is when you feel that mass and you can actually feel it. It feels like a pea, it feels like a pebble, it feels like a marble. It feels like something you can actually put your fingers around and say, that feels like a mass. And then when you move it, it hurts. and then in a week, in 2 weeks, it doesn't go away. It's still there. You can still feel this hard mass that's there. That is a strong indication that you need to definitely go and see your doctor and have it evaluated. The problem is that most women, they feel that and they think that it's okay. It's one of those normal breast tissue things that will go away after time. But when you feel that, that's your body's indication to say, I need to go to the doctor. What else? So we talked about breast and ovarian cancer. How do you know that you may have an ovarian cancer or ovarian issue? So when you have pain in your pelvis, again, pain in your pelvis means, you can have it every month and it goes away. It's cyclical, meaning that it's with your periods, right? And then it goes away. That's typically normal pain. And it happens. It happens with menstrual cramp. However, when you have a pain down in your pelvis that's completely outside of any type of menstrual cramp, and it persists and it continues, and you start to have abnormal bleeding and you have pain that you can push in your belly and you can feel, that is an indication that you need to go to your doctor and get it evaluated. Now, ovarian cancer is a little bit different. The prevalence in cancer in younger patients, like 17, 18, 19, 20, is much higher than breast cancer at that same age group. So you have to be definitely aware about your body and about the changes that happen and that indicate that you may need to see your doctor. Everybody at this age group, once you start to have regular periods, men, once you all start to go through your changes, you should be seeing your doctor once a year, like clockwork. And any of these issues that I'm talking about, you should definitely be talking about this during your appointment. We also talked about how boys or men can have breast cancer. Is it rare? Absolutely. However, same rules apply. You feel a mass in your chest, you feel something that you feel like a marble that's in your pec or your breast tissue, you need to get that evaluated because, yes, breast cancer does affect males too. And you can also be positive for the BRCA gene just like females can. What are some preventative measures? We just heard several different things about how to prevent this disease or how you can do your part and to help decreasing your risk. I won't say preventative because it's very hard to prevent. Cancer is a thing that, yes, they said we don't completely understand because it's a mimic or it's mimicking your regular body tissue. So cancer is just that. It's an abnormal growth of your cells, the cells that are in your body. So that's why it's so difficult to treat. That's why it's so difficult to get rid of because all of the treatments are attacking something that looks like the normal tissues in your body. What are the things that we do to decrease that rate? We have to live our life correctly. The first lady said that what we put in our body smoke-wise, so we just think about cigarettes. So when you are anybody that smokes in here, you look at the back of that cigarette package, they give you some very good information. They tell you that this can cause cancer, this can cause lung disease. The problem is that we just totally ignore it and we think that don't apply to us. Right? If right now you look on TV and they tell you the hamburger patties at McDonald's, they can cause cancer. If we tell you that the chicken at Chipotle's can cause cancer, we'd be the first people to get on Facebook and say, don't go down to Chipotle's, it's causing cancer. Don't go down to McDonald's and eat a Big Mac because it's causing cancer, right? However, we got something right in our face that tells us that it's causing cancer and we still continue to smoke it. We talk about marijuana and how, well, that's not cigarettes. It doesn't cause cancer. Fair point. The problem is that you have no idea where this stuff comes from. Amen. Right? So when you buy this off the street, it had been chopped up about 3 or 4 different times from the man and the man and the man and the man that put stuff on it to sell it to you. Loud is not normal. Right? When I used to smoke marijuana 30, 40, I hear my mama talking about it all the time. Right? She's like, this stuff that y'all smoking now is just not normal. right? You shouldn't smell. No, this real talk, y'all. Listen. You shouldn't smell this stuff from 3 blocks away. What in the world you gonna put in something to make it smell 3 blocks away? So imagine that you putting this chemically induced plant that's not natural from the ground into your body, and you're expecting your body to respond in a good way to what you're putting in your system. If you don't know where it's coming from, how you gonna put it in? If I just had some food just sitting up here and you didn't know me from Adam and I'm giving it to you and you just eating it and you had no idea who I was or where it's coming from, you wouldn't do it. Same way, you gotta be very conscientious about what you put in your body. The foods you eat, right? All these processed foods. So we look back 80, 100 years ago, we did not have cancer this rapid in our society, right? Most of you all's grandparents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, coming from slavery, coming from descendants of slavery, were living 80s, 90s, 100s. Cancer wasn't rapid like this. Why is it like that now? A lot of it is because they drank a lot of water, they ate a lot of foods that were natural. They were eating vegetables, they were eating fruits, they were eating lean meats, right? Now we go and some of us don't even eat normal meals. All we do is eat out in the streets and eating processed foods and eating stuff that we don't have any idea what's in it. So if you do that over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, guess what's going to happen? Do you expect your body to respond in a way that's going to be like your grandparents or your great-grandparents? Impossible. Right? So exercise, diet, drinking water, not putting a lot of stuff in your body, those are the way to decrease your risk of getting cancer and horrible disease. Not just cancer, but also, lung disease, vision problems, diabetes, hypertension. Those are things that plague our community, and it's a lot of the diet and the things that we put in our body. So, it's something else that I want to do with y'all, but I'm going to stick with breast cancer right now. So if anybody have any questions for me as far as the medical aspect of breast cancer or anything as far as cancer is concerned? Yes,
so I know a lot of you guys should have questions because you all should have done research on breast cancer. You all were to do your projects. You all have done essays. So I'm quite sure you guys have some type of questions that you may want to answer, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead, stand up.
So they know cigarettes cause cancer, why they still sell them?
Phenomenal question. The same reason why you can go buy a pack of cigarettes right now and it's completely legal, but you go out and you buy a pack of marijuana, you go into jail. Or you go out and sell marijuana, you go into jail. It's taxes. If they can tax it and they can make money off of it, why am I going to stop you from doing it? They don't care about your health. They have no care about your health, right? There's people right now doing 20, 30, 40 years for selling marijuana. I treat patients every day, right? I treat patients every day. I treat patients just like these ladies up here that have ovarian cancer, that have breast cancer, that have been 30, 40 year cigarette smokers, right? And it's a direct link, but they go out and still buy these cigarettes. Why? Because people are getting paid and getting rich off of it. I can tax you going to Shell to go and get these cigarettes. I can tax it. The government can tax it. They can make money off of it. They can't tax you going to the weed man buying a dime. They can't tax that. So if I can't tax it and I can't tax your pockets, then I need to make it illegal so you go to jail for it because I can't charge you for it. See that? That's how that works. That's why this big stipulation, and when you look at athletes and they busting all these athletes for marijuana, right? Because it's systemic in the mind and they want you to make you believe, yo, this is wrong. This is wrong. You go to jail for this. But the whole reason is because they can't tax it. It has nothing to do with your health. Same way with alcohol, right? You know how many people with liver disease and cancers from alcohol? But you could go and buy a fifth at your local corner store for any time you want to. They can tax it. They have no care about your health. It's about your dollar. Okay? And that's coming from a doctor. Real talk. Who else? All right, let's change this a little bit and flip it up a little bit. Who in here wants to do something in life other than be a professional sports player or like basketball, baseball? Who in here has like some dreams, desires, aspiration? What do you want to do, sweetie? You want to be a lawyer? You want to help me? You want to come up here and help me real quick? Who want to come up here? Who want to be a lawyer or doctor and want to come up here and help me? Come in. Come in.
Man.
Hey, chick, help it out.
Right.
Come on, Nigel.
Be on you. All right, everybody listen. Can y'all hear me?
Can you guys hear?
Can y'all hear me?
Barely. My talk a little loud. It's not.
That's all right. Y'all can hear me good enough?
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. So, when I came in here, I know a couple of y'all saw me come in here. What do I look like to you? Like, what did you think I was?
A thug.
What I look like? Hold on, time. Everybody, hold on a second. Hold on. What I look like? I look like a random person. Who else had a thought? What I look like? What I look like, sweetie? Say again. I look like a gangbang off the block, right? Anybody else? What I look like? Hold up, y'all, hold on. Hold on a second. Time out. What I look like, sweetie? I look like a what? I look like a DJ, sweet. What I look like? I look like a rapper, right? All right. So, all right, let me ask you another question. Let me ask y'all another question. Y'all pay attention. Let me ask you another question. Let me ask y'all another question. Y'all listening? Y'all listening? What's the difference between me and her?
You a boy.
Huh? I'm a boy. True. But do we look like we could be doctors? No? All right, time out. So, who right now believes, tell me your name. All right, who right now in this room believes that in 15 years, so how long is that? Law school? Okay, we can do that. That's fine. All right, so who in 10 years believes that Lois is going to be a successful lawyer in Chicago? Who believes that?
My girl's done.
So we got about like 10, 15, like 20%. We got 20%.
They hate us.
Time out. We got 20% in here. Beautiful. Oh.
Lord, as long as you believe. As long as you believe.
Okay.
All right, so look, so that to me, listen, Hey, listen, hey, real talk, listen. So, right now, the perception in this room about somebody that looks like me and somebody that looks like her is that we have absolutely no chance of becoming something great in this country. That is the perception not only that the masses have, but it's the perception that we as a people have. Let me say that again. We talk all the time about police brutality and how people see us and why do people do us so wrong. The perception of the masses matches our own perceptions as far as what we can become in this life and in this society. If I told you right now, I'm Pierre Johnson, I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago, 115th and Aberdeen. I went to a CPS high school. Now it's Gwendolyn Brooks. It was St. Martin de Portage. When I graduated, it was Southside College Prep, right? And when I was standing up, when I was in her shoes, people told me the exact same thing. That there's absolutely no way in the world that I'm gonna go through this life and become a physician. Fast forward 20 years later, almost 20 years later, I'm a board certified OBGYN, all right? So I went to Xavier University of Louisiana. I went to a HBCU, but that's not an applause. I was the only black kid in my medical school class, right? And then I went on to become a specialized physician in robotic surgery, right? But I say all of that to say, listen, y'all have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself that whatever you dream and aspire to do, that you can achieve it. You cannot let anybody in this lifetime tell you that you can't aspire and achieve bigger things. Everybody in this room that has a dream and a plan and a purpose can achieve that dream, plan, and purpose if you yourself are determined to do it. If you are not determined to do it, it's impossible. When I walk through the hallways of the hospital, the masses look at me the same way. When I walk down the street, police and everybody, they see me the same way. But the difference is I don't change me. And the reason I don't change me is because of you. Because when I go somewhere, I want to make certain that they don't look at me as they look at you. So when I go to the hospitals, and when I go and I save somebody's life, and I go do these intricate surgeries, and I come out with some Jordans on, and I throw my fitted on, that they say, oh man, that kid just said that he may want to be a doctor or lawyer. He might be able to do that. But with that being said, y'all can't let me down though. If I'm out here working and fighting for y'all, y'all gotta work and fight for me. Y'all can't fit the stereotype. You cannot fit the stereotype. You have to achieve and believe that you can achieve bigger and go and achieve that. Is it hard? Absolutely. Is it difficult? Absolutely. Do you have to work 10 times harder than the next person that is achieving the same thing that comes from Naperville? That's going to Lane Tech? That's going to these schools with all these books and all this stuff? Do you have to do more than they have to do? Absolutely. But can you do it? 100%. You can do it, but you gotta believe in yourself. All right, y'all check everything out. I have two of my closest friends. They look just like me. One is a board certified cardiothoracic surgeon. Another one is a board certified OBGYN. This is our brand, Pulse of Perseverance. We're coming out with a book that will be out next month. And we have a ton of tips and a ton of inspirational things for people like you, because we were in your shoes 15, 20 years ago, and we want you all to know that there is a brighter purpose for you, that success is attainable, and it's a reachable and attainable goal that you can get to if you work hard and you believe in yourself. So check it out. The website is the Post of P3, and Facebook, Instagram, all of those things are just Post of P3. The Facebook is the original Post of P3.